In Vedic astrology, there are certain bhavas of the houses where if a planet is placed or positioned, the significators or the karakatwas of the planet are completely out of place. It is so much out of place that the planet almost suffers a death-like situation, which is known as Maran Karaka Sthana or Marana Karaka Sthana, abbreviated as MKS. In this video, we are going to understand what is MKS, what are the bhavas where the planet is MKS, why the planet get MKS in that particular bhava or the house, what is the intensity of that MKS. Being MKS is fine, but what is the intensity of that MKS? And lastly, what are the general remedies, normal remedies that we can do for an MKS planet? Every planet has their particular behavior, the swabhava, and has also got a significator or the karakatwa. And what are bhavas? What are houses? Houses represents the particular area of your life, irrespective of the zodiac sign. For example, the seventh house represents your spouse, your relationship. It is irrespective of the zodiac sign or the Rashi placed over there. The seventh house may be Gemini, maybe Taurus, maybe Aries, Scorpio, doesn't matter. Seventh house is always about your spouse and relationship. Maran Karaka Sthana is a house and significator mismatch. It is so much so that the planet almost loses its power. The significations of the planet almost gets destroyed. According to Brihad Jataka, the sun is MKS in the 12th house. The Maran Karaka Sthana of sun is in the 12th house, Jupiter in the 3rd house, moon in the 8th house, Mars in the 7th house, Mercury is in 4th and 7th, both. Rahu in the 9th house, Saturn in the 1st house, and in modern tradition, Ketu is also there in the 4th house. We have to understand why the significators of the planet get destroyed or suffers a death-like situation in those houses. Firstly, let us take sun. What is sun? Sun's role is pure sattvic. It is to uphold the dharma. It is the king of the planet, the general of the planets. Now, what is 12th house? 12th house is the house of isolation. 12th house is the house of bed pleasures, of intimacy. Suppose a king who is not performing a duty, but it is indulgent in the blood pleasures, in the intimacy, who loves isolation, can perform the duty? Obviously not. So the natural significator of sun is completely destroyed or it suffers a death-like situation in the 12th house. Let us take moon. What is moon? What is Chandra? Chandra is the significator of manas, that is your mind. And it also the planet of nourishment. It nourishes us. And what is 8th house? 8th house is Ayurveda, the house of transformation and death, where you transform yourself and you rise or you change the pattern of your life. The 8th house is very deep house. And what do you think Manas, the mind, the mother who nourishes us, moon is also mother, who nourishes us, goes into the house which is of transformation? It is very difficult, the planet, to keep up with the significators. For example, I've seen the movie The Joker. It's an excellent movie. What has happened about the mind when it is there in the 8th house? It's the example is the film The Joker. So moon becomes MKS when it is positioned in the 8th house. Now what about Jupiter? What is Jupiter? Jupiter is your wisdom, your knowledge, it's dharma, it's the blessings of Guru. And what is third house? Third house is the house of Parakram, that is your valor, your effort that you need in order to achieve. And third house is also the first house of the Kam Trikon. And Jupiter being a pure Sattvic Guru planet, which is of wisdom and knowledge, is being put in the third house of effort. You are practically telling Jupiter, forget your wisdom, put in some effort. So the significators of Jupiter is completely destroyed over there. And hence the third house becomes this Maran Karaka Sthana for Jupiter. Now let's come to Mercury. Mercury have two positions as MKS, seventh house as well as fourth house. Mercury is a child. In our Puranas, Mercury is the son of Chandra, Moon, and Tara, who is the wife of Jupiter. He is a child. Mercury represents your intelligence, your speech, that is Vak. And you are placing it in a place of relationship. Practically, you are telling the child to marry, to have a spouse. What does he know about marriage? Isn't the significators mismatched over here? Now, what about the fourth house? Now, who is the natural significator of the fourth house? What the fourth house represents? It's your home. It's your sukha bhava. And you are forcing a child who wants to play, who wants to do mischievous things, who is very calculative to go to the home and sit down. So the Mercury is not at all comfortable in fourth house. So the MK's position of Mercury is also fourth house and seventh house, both houses. Now let us look into Venus. Venus is the significator of love, your relationship, your sacrifice. Venus also is a love, ultimate love. Ultimate love tends to be sacrificing. So Venus is exalted in the 12th house of the Kalpurusha Kundli. And you are telling that lover boy, the admirer of beauty, to go to the 6th house, the house of enemy, fight the enemies. It is the house of diseases, fight against diseases. So Venus is completely out of sync. He is a lover boy. And you are forcing him to fight enemies, to fight diseases, to fight debts, to be competitive. It completely destroys the significations of Venus. So Venus become MKs when it is positioned in the 6th house. What about Saturn? Saturn is MKs in the 1st house, the slowest moving planet among the Navagrahas. It is cold. It is the planet of karma fal data, actually. I've done a video on Saturn recently, a live on Saturn. Saturn is also the natural pain of the Kalpurush Kundli. A pain inflicting, slow moving, cold nature planet sits in your Lagna, where you require light. Lagna is somewhere you require light in order to progress in life. And the natural significator of the 1st house is Surya, the sun. So not at all Saturn is comfortable in the 1st house. So the significators of Saturn dies in the 1st house. Let's come to Rahu. Rahu is MKS in the 9th house. That is the house of Dharma. We have to understand Rahu. Rahu is not only obsession, it is something that desires, the wishes that you have not been able to manifest in the previous lives. Ketu is already manifested. The desires that you have already manifested, that you have already achieved in the previous life is Ketu. Rahu is something which you have not achieved in the previous life. So the ambition, that greediness is there to achieve those things. And you are ready to break that barrier. In the cost of dharma also, you do not follow dharma. And the natural significator of the 9th house is Jupiter. Planet of Dharma is not liking that you are breaking Dharma in order to reach the ambition. So Rahu becomes MKS in the 9th house. Sagittarius is the natural 9th house of the Kalpurush Kundli. It's a fire sign of Jupiter where Rahu burns. That ambition goes away. The significator of Rahu is completely destroyed. And don't you think Rahu MKS is a very good position? You require that ambition in life. Otherwise, you cannot survive in Kali Yuga. And in today's world is governed by Rahu. What about Ketu? Ketu is the planet of moksha. It is a monk who has left everything, the maya of the society, and it is a planet of detachment. It is already satisfied with everything it has. How do you think a monk who is supposed to go into the 12th house of isolation or in the 9th house of dharma will behave in the 4th house? You are forcing that monk to stay in the house, of, to stay in the home environment, to stay in the Sukha Bhava, and he has got nothing to do with Sukha. So, Ketu MKS is in the 4th house. By now, we have already understood that why the planets are MKS in a particular style in a very lucid way. Now, the question arises how to check the MKS intensity. A planet may be MKS, but what is the suffering that it will cause? What is the intensity of the suffering that it will cause to you? Its significators facing a death like situation, what is the intensity? For that, we have to look into certain things. First, if a planet is in MKS and it is alone, it has got no drishtis of any natural malefic planet, it is good, it will suffer. But the remedies, which I'm going to state to you later on, will take care of that. Now, suppose the planet which is MKS is either in conjunction or in aspected by or in vrishti with some natural malefics. Then the problems become severe. Depending on the number of connections. Suppose it is afflicted by only one natural malefic, which is known as Eka Papa, that is one Pap Drishti. It is completely fine. It is recoverable by remedies. If it is two Dvidrishti or Dvi Papa, then it is quite difficult, but it recovers, it takes time to recover. And if it is three or more of the natural malefics aspecting or conjuncting the MKS planet, it is very difficult. It is very difficult to handle those things. Then you must go to an astrologer, a very good astrologer, and he will give you specific remedies for that particular. It's very difficult to control that. Al Capone has three papa, that is three planets, three malefics, aspecting its sun probably. I'm not remembering the horoscope, but sun, I think sun is MKS. I think sun, it's affecting the sun. So he has got problem with father, the government, and all those things. What about the Rashis? Does the Rashis plays a role? Obviously, the Rashis will play a role. For example, if your planet is MKS and exalted and it is sitting in its own sign. For example, Venus is exalted in Pisces and its own sign is Taurus as well as Libra. And it is positioned in sixth house, either in Pisces, Taurus, or Libra. That is a very good signal. The planet will suffer, but it will come out of MKS. Now, I have heard, this is from my personal experience, I have heard that some of the astrologers tell if it is exalted or if it is on sign, the MKS is cancelled. Yeah, it is cancelled, but the initial sufferings are there. You have to do certain remedies to get out of the suffering. If the planet is debilitated, then it is much concern because the planet itself is of low strength. The planet's strength also needs to be evaluated. Like Shadbal strength needs to be evaluated. Is the planet strong? Then the planet has got the capacity to fight back. Otherwise, the planet cannot fight back. Now, finally, we have to check Jupiter. If Jupiter aspects any MKS planet, Jupiter is Jiva Karak. It is the blessing of Lord Shiva you have over the MKS planet. So the MKS planet having the grace, the Guru Ashirvad. So the planet will have a protective armor around itself. It is a kavach, that is the armor around itself. It is not that it will not suffer, but it will suffer less. It will, because Shiva's blessing is there. Guru's blessing is there. In order to study an MKS planet, do not be scared by seeing only just a planet is MKS in that. See the sign, if it is exalted or it is its own sign, or it is even in its friendly sign. If it is debilitated or it is in enemy sign. Check the strength of the planet. Check the aspect. If it is aspected by natural malefics or it is aspected by Jupiter. If Jupiter, it is good. If it is by natural malefics, we are going to state the remedies. So this is how you check the intensity of the MKS. And from your life experience, you can understand how the MKS planet is playing in your life. There is a particular misconception in MKS. It states that we have to strengthen the planet which is MKS. For example, Sun is MKS in the 12th house, we have to strengthen Sun. And we are moving in the wrong direction. The Sun need not be strengthened. We have to strengthen the natural significator of the 12th house. Since it is based on Karaka, we have to rectify the Karaka or the natural significator of that house. And who is the natural significator of that house? It's Saturn. So if your sun is MKS, you have to do mantras of Saturn. This is the main doctrine of the remedy. For Saturn, we are doing sun mantras. Why? Because Saturn is MKS in the first house and sun is the natural significator of the first house. We can do mantras of sun. We can do Aditya Hridaya Stotram. Now for moon, which is MKS in the 8th house, we have to check who is the natural significator of the 8th house. The natural significator of the house is again Shani, the Saturn. So for moon also, we have to do the mantras of Saturn. And for Jupiter, we have to do for Mars, because Mars is the natural significator of the 3rd house. That is, we can do the mantras of Mars or we can do Hanuman Chalisa. Let's come to Mercury. Now Mercury is positional basis. If Mercury is MKS in the 4th house, we will do moon mantras or Shiva mantras. And if it is in the 7th house, MKS in the 7th house, we will do Durga mantras or the mantra of Venus. For Mars, we have to also again do the mantras of Venus or Durga mantra. Rahu, we have to do Guru mantra, or we can also do Aditya Hridaya Stotram. For Ketu, we have to pray to Shiva or do the mantra of moon. Now you will be asking, what are the mantras? How many times the mantras should be done? That is specifically chart oriented, but there are general mantras of moon, sun, Saturn that is available. You can do that. But if you want more specific mantras, the whole chart need to be analyzed. So the concept of remedy is clear. We are doing the bhava based remedy. We are not doing the sign based remedy. For example, Sun is MKS in the 12th house and it is sitting in the sign of Gemini. We are not doing the dispositor, that is Mercury. We are not doing Gemini's dispositor mantra. We are doing the 12th house Bhavas mantra, that is Saturn's mantra, the significator of the 12th house mantra. Saturn's mantra. We are not doing Mercury's mantra. So these are the general remedies that we can do. It now comes down to a very important question, which will be part 2 of this video. If you like this video, then this will be the part 2 of the video. For example, your planet symbolizes or signifies a lot of things. The karakatwa of a planet is a lot of things. Sun may represent your father. Sun represents your soul. Sun represents the government. So which significator of sun is actually facing the death-like situation? It cannot happen that all the significators are suffering. There should be some particular significator which is suffering. What is that significator? For that, we will be analyzing Sun in MKS in a separate video, which is much more elaborate, Moon in MKS. So if I do that, that will be a separate part 2. If you want that, I can do that. That depends upon you, my viewers. So we meet again in the next video. Until then, take care. Om Namah Shivaya.